All right, here's why you should never buy a new bicycle in 2025. Now, don't make this video, sorry, to let's work up. I don't make this video to inflame anyone. This is my personal opinion. But in 2025, moving on to 2026 and beyond, buying a new bike is something I would not do. Why is that? Because now do what you want to do, but when I'm spending my money, I ain't buying a new bike. I am buying a rim brake bike. This is a Cannondale Evo, amazing bike. Cannondale rim brake bikes, man. Whoa. All right, this frame I would get maximum $200 for this. $200, and it's near new condition. It comes with the fork. All right, if you're in Adelaide, you want this for $200. Also for $200, so 52. You know, no ring of death. Fork's fine. You know, it's just like $200, bro. Australian, not USD, Aussie dollar. Okay, if you want this $200 in Adelaide, hit me up. These bikes are just hard to sell for more than that. You know, just needs the BB guide down there in the bottom bracket and the headset usual. But for the frame, for the raw frame with the hanger, $200, size 52. You know what I mean? That's for me. Like it's like cost me like $150, whatever it was. Thompson Post. You know, this cost me less than $50, and it's almost brand new. It's almost brand new, man. Yeah, 27.2. Cut it down to your size. It's just amazing. So why would I buy a new bike today? You know, why would I buy a new bike today? You know, and you got, here's the thing as well, is like these bikes are so cheap. I know people out there who are making a business now of buying stuff on Facebook, getting people to, you know, to like recycle bicycle, like to recycle a bicycle and then flip it and sell it. And I've done that, you know, for almost 20 years myself. There is a market for that for sure. Someone's folded off the, oh, they haven't. The loyal lips are still on there. But yeah, so recycle bicycle parts for cash. That's a business venture as well. But the thing is, right now, it's a very interesting market because the rim brake stuff is just so cheap, and the more people understand the market value of how cheap rim brake stuff is, the less they'll pay, more and more and more. So my goal for the next year is to really drum it out there that the rim brake stuff is superior because it's so easy to work on, it's lighter, it's more aero, etc. It's just easy to live with, and it's freaking dirt cheap. That's why I pretty much cancelled my Pragma bike brand. I mean, I can still get frames if you really want them, but in the end, I was like, hang on, like, man, these bikes are so cheap on Facebook and Gumtree and eBay, especially Facebook. And my frame set is the cost now of a whole tarmac Dura-Ace SL3, whatever. And I tell people, you know, like, why don't you just get a bike off Facebook? I can help you find one, join my coaching group, or do a bit of homework yourself and just go find it yourself for free. So that's why I sort of stopped selling the frames largely. Biggest reason, and there was the COVID shipping delays, but it sort of dovetailed in perfectly that once the shipping was back on the road again, the prices of rim brake stuff had just dropped so much. I'm just like, I can't ethically sell people a frame set when I know I could get, when I would actually go and buy a tarmac from the Facebook marketplace. You know, I was like, or a giant TCR or a Roubaix or a freaking a Super 6. You know, why would you buy a frame set off me for $1,000 brand new? I guess it's got custom paint on it. When you could get one like this, $200. Just saying, just saying. So that is the deal, my friends. I would never buy a new bike again. And I know a lot of people are going to be angry when I say that, but a lot of people in the industry agree with me. But I don't own a bike shop, and I don't have employees to pay and stuff like that, and overheads and that stress. Like, running a bike shop is fucking stressful. So again, I'm not here out to step on anyone's toes or whatever. And obviously I don't have the power to change the industry, even a fucking nanogram. Okay, so don't worry, bike shop owners. You know, I'm not going to affect that. But in terms of the second-hand market, man, bikes are freaking cheap, man. So cheap. Like, people, they got a new bike. How much you pay for it? I'm like, you pay what? The exact bike on Facebook, bro, is going for $500-600. They bought it from a second-hand bike seller for like $1,500 or $2,000. Like, that person who sold you that bike for $2,000, they bought it for $500-600 on Facebook Marketplace, or they did the trade-in or whatever. So, you know, it pays to do some homework. You'll save a lot of money, and these bikes are fun to work on. Like, I enjoy building these fuckers. Even with the BB30, this is actually press fit BB30. Yeah, press fit. You know, like, even these, man. You know, it says BB30, but it's actually a PF30. I love building them up, man. They're just great. I could build these figures up all day, you know. Like they're just great to work on. And look at this external. Just, this bike's basically built themselves. You put the cables in the frame, just chuck it at it, and it coils up. Well, it doesn't, but almost does. So these great bikes to work on. External stuff, just amazing. Anyway, that's the wrap up, gang. If you do want the best bike in 2026, 2025, you're going to be spending maximum 1,000 USD. Maximum 1,000 USD. It's going to be a Super 6 Evo high mod. It's going to be a Tarmac SL 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even now, the 6s are going freaking dirt cheap. And I don't really rate the 6 that much because of the post design. I'd prefer the round 27.2 Tarmacs, which is the 1 through to 5, because it's just a better design round post, which you have now new Athos round post, etc. So a lot less slippage issues. Once you got aero post, the slippage, the brackets, the faffery, extra drama. I don't know about you, gang, but less drama in my life, less stress. Even with business, how I run my business is, it's just minimal faff, ease of use. Got a fancy camera, I use a freaking iPhone. Just stuff like that. Just bikes, simple. Women, simple. But more complex, So that's just the deal, gang, is why are you spending so much on bike stuff, man? It's so cheap today. It's so look at what's his name? Harry Mack, who won the hill climb championships in UK, British hill climb champs. Twice now. Last year he won it on a Facebook Cervelo. This year he won it on a freaking Facebook Mondo. His Cervelo is an epic bike from last year, Like, that's what we're talking about. Just trumped all the super bikes, these disc brake things. Trumped them all. He won the British Hill Climb Champs, which is a very prestigious event in British lands there. The bikes are so freaking cheap today. Like, why are you spending so much money, man? That's the last question. The bikes are so cheap. Why are you spending so much money, And these days, like, you go, I want to buy a shop to make sure the bike's safe. I'll tell you what the shops do, right? Because I used to work in one, and I sell a lot of bikes, and I check a lot of bikes. We drop out the fork, which on a rim brake bike, the caliper here is like 5-10 minute job, right? We drop the fork out, clean it with a rag, inspect it for any ring of death, and then these forks are easy to replace. Might not be the same color, but anyway, put a flashlight down there, check that, you're good to go. Give it a squeeze, give it an inspection. That's your thing. The people out there saying, got to do a car and extra and all that stuff. Okay, if you believe in that stuff, but the visual one is good enough. So why are you paying people hundreds of dollars to just do a visual inspection of your bike when you could do it yourself? Okay, we could do it yourself. And these bikes are easy to work on. So why are you paying people hundreds of dollars to do that? What are you after? The knife? So that's the deal, gang. That is the deal. Hey, durianrider, you passed the knife the wrong way. Oc health safety violation. You passed it blade first, I did. But yeah, that's the inspection, like. So these rim brake bikes are amazing, but the disc brake bikes, dropping a fork out of an S8 Tarmac, different story, my friends. You come to me, Harley, can you drop my fork out of my S8 Tarmac? I'm really like, nah. Take it to the shop, $300. Literally, to drop the fork out and check the fork of an S8 Tarmac is about $300 Australian. That's the job, all right? And if your mates at the shop, they can do it for $200 because you got to do the hydro lines, pull them out the freaking bars, and feed them. You literally have to rerun new lines for the front and rear of the bike. And if you got that integrated stupid bloody bar stem combo in there, you'll do that. So it's an absolute nightmare. $300. Rim brake, Tarmac, I'll do it for you for free. I'll show you how to do it. Just go watch my YouTube videos. But literally, it's that easy. These bikes are super easy to work on. These bikes are designed for pro mechanics to get the whole team bike through, done and dusted. Now you got like an army of mechanics to deal with these freaking nightmare disc brake bikes. Absolute freaking faffery. They're heavier, they're slower, they're harder to work on, they're way more expensive. They crash easier, crack easier, crack easier. So why I'd never buy a new bike again? It's crazy. I walk in the bike shops now to say g'day to crew. I look at the new bikes and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Seriously. I walk into bike shops now and I'm just like hoping to see some retro shit, some good shit. Retro meaning rim brakes. And I see the new bikes. I'm just like, that's fucking lame. That's fucking lame. Like I was in China recently. Went to like a specialized dealer. They had like just so many S-Works SL8s sitting there. I'm just counting all these SL8s thinking, yeah, this is fucking lame. These bikes are fucking lame, you know. And then there was a SL5, Peter Sagan in the back. I was like, damn, that's a fucking sexy bike. That's a good bike, you know. So it's just like walking the bike shops these days, hoping to see some rim brake memorabilia, but he's got these road disc tanks that are just so hard to work on and just crappy to position and stupidly priced. That's the deal, gang. If you want a bike, a super doper bike under $1,000 USD, that is reality, and they're just getting cheaper. All right, people like they see deal. I got a bike. I got no. Even second-hand bikes, and they're just getting cheaper. This is going to be my mission over the next year, is to really internationally make the awareness and maybe create a bit of a market trend. If I don't know, see if we can do that. Let people know how cheap cycling is, man. I don't own a car. I got no intention to own a car. Tomorrow I could go out and buy a Porsche, brand new if I wanted to. Ain't doing that. I'm on the bikes, man. All right. So I'm cyclist advocate here. Okay. This stuff, man. These bikes. This is a real bike, man. A Super 6 Evo rim brake. Just rides so good. Again, some people that can't run that low stack height. I get it. You got your Synapse, you got your Defiance, you got your Roubaix SL4. What a bike SL. Anyway, I'm getting too horny for bikes right now. That's the deal, gang. 1,000 USD max for a bike in 2026, and it's going to be a world beater. It's going to be better than anything in the world tour. For $1,000 USD, I can build up or get a bike off Facebook Marketplace, or even less, 500 USD sometimes. That's better than any world tour bike. Won't shift as good as maybe with the 12-speed DR2, but 11-speed DR2. Sorry, no, it will. Sorry, but it won't be. What's the word? Won't be the latest thing. Okay, won't be the most trendy bike. So if you're after trends, then you're going to spend a big cash and to impress people who don't understand what's going on. If you know, you know.